Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The desert sky over Sedona glowed pink and gold as the sun dipped low across the canyon, the perfect setting for a finale that absolutely nobody was prepared for. Mel Owens stood on the balcony of the Golden Bachelor Villa, hands braced on the railing, staring out into the vastness like a man carrying both the weight of the past and the tremble of the future. Tonight wasn't just any night. Tonight, he had to choose. Inside the villa, fairy lights twinkled, cameras hummed quietly, and the faint notes of the string quartet floated through the hallways. A row of roses rested behind glass, everyone gone except one, the final golden rose. And Mel knew exactly who it belonged to, but admitting it out loud felt like stepping off a cliff. Peg wasn't like the others. Peg entered the season as the silent dark horse, warm, self-assured, with that old Hollywood smile that made Mel straighten up a little taller whenever she walked into the room. She didn't fight for attention, didn't chase drama, didn't whisper gossip to the other ladies. She just listened. Something Mel hadn't felt in years. Their connection hadn't started with fireworks. It had started with the quiet spark of two people who'd lived, lost, and learned. And somewhere along the way, she'd become the woman's absence he felt even when she was standing in the next room. But saying that aloud? That was the part that scared him. The moment Peg walked in, Peg stepped out of the limo that evening in a flowing deep blue dress, the kind that made even the producers pause. Her silver hair shimmered under the lantern light, and Mel swore the whole world tilted just slightly when she smiled. "Mel," she whispered, and he felt his breath catch. Not from nerves, but from recognition. Tonight, she wasn't just Peg. She was the answer he'd been avoiding. When she reached him, he took her hands. They were warm, steady, just like she'd always been. "Mel, there's something I need to say," Mel began, voice shaking with unfiltered honesty. "This decision, it isn't about who impressed me, or who surprised me, or who made the cameras light up. It's about who made me feel like myself again." Peg's eyes softened. "Mel, it's okay. Whatever you choose." "No," he interrupted, emotion rising like a tide he couldn't hold back. "You need to hear this." The emotional commitment that stunned millions. Mel reached behind him and Peg's breath stopped. Because in his hand was the final golden rose. But he didn't present it immediately. He held it between them like a confession. "Peg, I kept trying to convince myself to take more time, to stay cautious, to not rush something meaningful this late in life. But the truth is, you make my world feel big again. You make me hopeful, and I haven't felt hopeful in a long time." A tear slipped down Peg's cheek, quickly wiped, but the cameras caught it. Mel leaned forward, voice breaking. "Peg, I want to commit to you, fully, without hesitation. If you'll have me, this rose is yours." For a moment, everything froze. Even the cicadas outside seemed to pause. And then Peg exhaled a trembling laugh, covering her mouth. "Mel, I've been waiting for you to say that." She stepped closer, letting him place the golden rose in her hands. The music swelled, the wind picked up, and the viewers, millions of them, sat stunned on their couches. Peg whispered into his chest, "We're perfect for each other, aren't we?" Mel held her tighter. "Yeah, we really are." The kiss that broke the internet. Mel cupped her face, leaned in, and kissed her with the certainty of a man who had finally stopped running from happiness. Producers wiped their eyes, fans screamed at their TVs, Peg whispered yes against his lips. And just like that, the final golden rose was confirmed, and Mel's biggest decision became his bravest one. Because loving Peg wasn't just a choice, it was the beginning of the rest of his life.